Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Shalina and I make videos about all things fashion, so if that's your bag then please do consider subscribing, and if you do like this video please do give me a big thumbs up, that would really help me out. Oh, it's kind of going down then, but no, make it a thumbs up. I worked in fashion buying for a little over 10 years. I worked for 2 major UK retailers, and whilst it had its ups and downs I generally did really enjoy it. I'm hoping to bring some of my knowledge into my videos, so let's get stuck in. So in this video I want to take you through investment pieces. So these are pieces that you would probably spend that little bit more money on, maybe take your time to save for some of these pieces, things that would be in your wardrobe and that you'd use year after year, time after time, probably more classic pieces in your wardrobe, not necessarily trend led, and you know, really look at investing in good quality fabrics, really good quality manufacturing, so that these pieces last you a long time. I also feel that with investment pieces I personally tend to stick to quite neutral colours. I feel like if you stick to the neutrals they'll last even longer. They won't be colours that come in and out of fashion. They'll just be things that can go with everything in your wardrobe, and it will just make that investment all the more worth it. So the first piece that I want to talk about is leather jackets. Now this is quite a big one for me because I feel like leather jackets are just something that I have always worn, I will always wear. I do actually tend to wear them a lot in that gap between spring and summer, and I really like teaming my leather jackets with dresses. I like the soft feminine back with sort of a more edgier, more masculine feel. So this is my one from Zara that I'll put a clip up of me wearing it. This one I think is, I've probably had it for since 2012. It's lasted me so long, and if I remember rightly I probably paid about £130 for it, maybe a little bit less than that, but it's done so well and it's still going strong, so I am going to hang on to it. The only thing I was looking at is I want where styling has changed, and you know, back then it was all about maybe the fitted look, and I think when I was younger I was a bit more, I wouldn't say obsessed is the word, but when I was younger I used to look at the size on the label more, whereas as I've gotten older I care less about that. I just want my clothes to fit me nicely, and I also do really like an oversized look with coats and jackets now, so I've definitely been looking into getting a new leather jacket. I am stalling a little bit because I'm saving for it rather than going to put it on a credit card or anything like that. I did buy one I think 2 years ago from H&M, and it was an oversized jacket, and I really like the belt detail on leather jackets as well, so that's another thing I'm going to be looking for, but it was so heavy, and every time I tried to style it with an outfit I just kind of thought to myself, when am I going to wear this? Like I wasn't ever feeling like I wanted to reach for it, so I ended up selling it actually for £10 less than I bought it for, which was amazing because I didn't think I would be able to get all that money back. I guess it's because I hadn't worn it and it still had the tags on. It also was, in hindsight, a bit of a funny length on me. I'm 5'3", so I don't think it fell on the right part of my body, which is again probably why I struggled to style it. So I have actually been looking at the leather jackets in All Saints, and I'll pop the one on the screen that I'm looking at getting. I did go in and try this in a size, I think I tried a 10, which was fine, but I do like to put item like hoodies or maybe like a light sweater underneath. So I tried it in a size 14, and I think when I tried it on I did have a sweater underneath and I could get it on. I actually would probably like to even go up to a 16, but I think All Saints only go up to a size 14, which is a shame. I do think their leather jackets come up really small. I think even if I didn't want to put hoodies underneath, I think I'd still have to go up a couple sizes anyway. So just bear that in mind if you have been looking at the All Saints jackets. I would also say that I think they do 15% off if you are like a new customer buying on there for the first time. I think they also do this in stores. I'm not necessarily sure that they advertise that, but if you ask ask at the till, they do that. So yeah, a good one to use if you are going to get some of their jackets, because I know they do retail, some of them are like £300 plus, so it would be a good saving on that. I'll also put on the screen leather jackets that I've looked at that I really like, but my budget won't stretch as far, or I just am not prepared to spend that much money on a leather jacket. But you know, if one had endless amounts of money, then I probably would like to get one of these. I'd also say, for me personally, I wear pretty much only gold jewellery. However, I'm more drawn to the leather jackets with silver hardware, and I don't know if that's just because it's what I'm used to. I do like that the All Saints one that I'm looking at has the black poppers, so even if you had like gold jewellery around your neck, it isn't directly sitting against silver, because I'm not one that really mixes her like metal colours. I prefer to keep it just one. Again, that's not really a massive deal to me, but I will be looking out for a silver hardware leather jacket. Okay, so my second item is leather bags. So I'm not a massive bag person, as in I love bags and I love to look at bags, but I hate carrying them. I hate carrying stuff around, and for someone who hates carrying stuff around, I do have a lot of stuff to carry around, unfortunately. So I got this bag. It's a Cézanne Faro bag, and I got this maybe 2 years ago now. It was a birthday present. I asked for it for a birthday present, and I really love it. I love that it's got minimal branding on it. I have always loved bucket bag styling, and then it's got a crossbody strap. That's another thing that is a must-have for me with a bag. I really hate carrying bags on my shoulders. I just like to be hands-free. I want to feel free. But as I said, I really do love looking at bags. I've had my eye on the Polène Numero 9 style bag. I think it's a new one for them. They did have it in a large size, and I kept looking at it thinking, I think that's a bit too big for me, but I think they've recently brought out the mini, and that's going to be my next purchase. I'm not saying I'm rushing out to buy all these pieces now. These will be things that I buy, you know, over the next couple of years, but as I only own this black bag, really, I've got a couple of little other black bags, but you know, fairly inexpensive bags. I wanted a lighter colour bag, so I have been looking at that in a sort of taupe shade. I'm not exactly sure of the exact colour. I'll pop it on the screen so you can have a look at it, but I really like this one. I love that you can carry it as a handbag but also have it crossbody, and I think in the summer this colour would look lovely against summer dresses and just generally lighter colour clothing. I think it's really nice. I also tend to be quite drawn towards suede handbags. I like that they're fairly unstructured. However, I do tend to stay away from suede because of the nature of the material. It's got quite short fibres, and these tend to hold on to dirt and like grime, and also you will have problems with colour transfer. So if you've bought a light colour suede bag and you're holding it against your blue jeans, you'll probably get colour transfer on it. And also, most of you probably know that suede is not great out in the rain, and once it gets wet, the watermarks probably will stay on there. There are probably products you can get to clean it, or you could probably have it professionally cleaned, but I'm too lazy for all of that. So I prefer to stick to leather because it's just easily, you know, you can just easily wipe it clean and you're done. I have put some other bags on the screen that I've been eyeing up, and I have always loved the Balenciaga City bag, which I think is quite an old style now, but I still love it now. So, you know, if I had bought it back in the day, you know, it would be something that I still love now. I know that they have got a new version of it. I can't remember what it's called, but I'll pop it up on the screen if you want to have a look, and if your budget stretches that bit further, then that could be a nice one to look at. I tend to keep, with investment pieces especially, I would tend to keep detailing minimal. Unless you're the type of person that does like branding and logos, then you go for it. I personally prefer things a little bit more minimal when it comes to handbags, just so that I can wear it with multiple things. So just a couple things to bear in mind when buying a bag. Just make sure that you consider how much stuff you carry around and the size of it. Be realistic, and then also have a think about the handles. Do you prefer to carry things on your shoulders, in your hands, or do you prefer it crossbody? Are you more of a backpack person. Just have a think and be realistic, because if you're going to put down a lot of money for something, then you want it to be something that suits your lifestyle. Okay, so number 3 on my list is jewellery. So I do prefer to wear gold jewellery. I think I only really own gold jewellery, and probably about 3 or 4 years ago now, I got so fed up of costume jewellery tarnishing quite soon after I bought it, and even some gold plated jewellery tarnishing quite soon, that I decided that I was going to make sure that I only bought gold vermeil or solid gold pieces, even if that meant I had to save for a few years to get it. I recently bought some pieces from Monica Vinader, which I've been really happy with. This necklace that I'm wearing actually is from Monica Vinader, and I got another necklace from them, and so far so good. I'm really impressed with it. I did check Trustpilot to see what other people's opinions were of the jewellery before I bought it, and I think especially with something like jewellery, especially if you're getting earrings where you can't send them back, I would check out reviews, see what people have said, because you know, if you are going to be putting down a lot of money for a piece of jewellery, then you want it to be something that's going to last. So definitely do your research beforehand. I would recommend Monica Vinader, and then there's another website that I bought a necklace from, God, some years ago now, it must be about 6 or 7 years ago, called Maria Pascal. I think that's how you say it. I'm going to put it on, I'm going to show it to you on the screen. But again, I bought a necklace from there, and it's in mint condition. It's just as it was when I first bought it. Now obviously, to keep your jewellery lasting longer, be sure not to wear it in the shower unless it's solid gold. I wouldn't wear anything in the shower, and also don't let it come into contact with perfume. So if you are putting on a necklace, don't then spray your perfume on your neck. Spray it on your clothes, or I'd spray mine in my hair. I don't know if you're supposed to do that, but yeah, do something like that. Don't let it come into contact, and then, you know, just generally look after them. Keep them in little boxes or a little drawer, a little jewellery box if you can, and that will keep it looking newer for longer. So in terms of jewellery, the only other thing that I am looking to add to my wardrobe is a pair of solid gold earrings, some hoops, just so I can wear these in the shower and I don't need to take them off every day. Okay, so number 4 is a classic pair of jeans. So I have never actually tried on non-high street jeans, but I have recently been feeling like I do want to try them. I think I always struggle with high street jeans in that my thighs are bigger but my waist is smaller, so I always need more space on the thighs and I need the waist to be smaller, but then you have the issue of getting it over your bum. So I understand that it's quite complex to find jeans that suit every single shape. I've usually got my jeans from H&M, and I always do get them with elastane in, so they've got that bit of stretch to get them over my thighs. However, I then almost always have to wear a belt with my jeans so that they stay up on the waist. Otherwise, as I walk, they just kind of tend to fall down, and then they don't feel so comfortable, they don't feel fitted. So I think for me, I will definitely be looking at some point to invest in a pair of more premium denim, but only if they fit me the way I want them to fit. So I would say if you do have problems with high street, then definitely do try some of the premium brands like 7-4 Mankind or Page Denim. Again, make sure you research, see what they're all about. Remember that denim does take an incredible amount of water to produce, so if you could buy 2 pairs instead of 6 high street pairs, then, you know, definitely the way to go. If I do start looking at this sooner rather than later, then I'll definitely try and sort of film my progress so you guys can see what ones are fitting my body shape best. So if you're similar to me, then hopefully that will help you out. I just wanted to jump on and mention that if you find jeans too long, me being 5'3", I sometimes have this issue, then go for jeans with a raw hem. You can then cut them to size and you don't need to worry about sort of stitching them up. Equally, you can find ones that have stitched hems and just cut them if you don't mind the raw hem look. Just be sure to cut them one leg at a time and use very sharp scissors to get a nice clean cut. I also wanted to touch on the fit process. So when retailers are going to put garments into stores, they use a fit model to try the garments on and make any necessary changes. So you could have a fit model at one retailer who's a size 12, and then a fit model at another retailer that's a size 12. But remember that these size 12s could be very different. One could have a slightly rounder bottom, another retailer might have a size 12 that's got slightly wider hips. Equally, someone could have a flatter stomach. So even though you could be trying your garments on a size 12 model, across retailers they will use different shaped women. So I think it's important to bear in mind that sizes may not necessarily mean all you think they mean. It's obviously a guide of where to start in terms of knowing what size to try on, but don't be too focused on label sizes, just go for what fits you best. So a striped top is definitely another piece that I think is really classic and really timeless to have in your wardrobe. I think most anyone can pull off a striped top. I've personally got a striped long sleeve tee, I've got a striped sweater, and I've got a striped knit. You've probably seen all of these if you've watched some of my other videos, but I will pop them on the screen so you can see the ones I've got. I didn't particularly spend loads and loads of money on them, but you know, I did check out the quality and, you know, buy something that fit well for me. I've got a long sleeve tee that's slightly longer so that I can wear it sometimes with my workout leggings if I wanted to. So it's all about finding the pieces that fit with your style. Don't necessarily have to go classic black and white. I've got some cream black, which I feel like is a little bit more softer and less like prison celly, if that makes sense. Or if you prefer red, get a red and cream, or there's navy. There's so many options. You can also get ones with a slight pop of colour at the top if you don't want it to be too plain. I just think a striped top is so easy to chuck on when you have those days when you don't know what to wear. Just chuck it on with a pair of jeans, put some ballet flats on, or trainers, or you know, if you prefer loafers, or if you're a heels person, then chuck on your ankle boots, pop on a trench, and you're good to go. You'll look instantly put together. And I think, you know, that's just the great thing about having a striped top. It kind of almost makes it look like you've made an effort without even having to try. So the next investment piece I want to talk about is jackets and blazers. So I've sort of popped these together because a lot of you in the warmer months might use your blazer as your jacket. So I've got a mango blazer which is black and it's a viscose mix. It's double-breasted, and for me, I do tend to sort of draw more towards double-breasted styles. I think they look just that bit more chic, but if you do like the single-breasted ones, then go for it. I would stick to like a viscose blend. I think it will make it look newer for longer. If you're looking to have one that you can wear into the winter, then definitely look for one with a wool content. This will keep you a lot warmer. Also stick to the classic colours. I think, you know, a nice navy or a black, and then maybe a sort of cream for the summer months. You could look at a linen fabric for the summer months. And I think, you know, with tailoring, I think you can really tell when you've spent a little bit more money on something. I know that H&M do those quite, you know, reasonably priced blazers for £35, but I think a lot of the time you can see that they're a little bit cheaper. So if you want something that looks that bit more tailored, that bit more structured, then definitely take your time to shop around. Massimo Dutti do some lovely blazers, and I think for the price, for what you're getting, I think they do some really nice pieces. I'll pop on some other bits that I've seen on the screen as well. Another thing in this area is also jackets. I have a sort of crop trench. I'm still looking for a trench that doesn't drown me because I'm only 5'3". I feel like a lot of the time the trenches have a bit too much fabric in them, and I look like a child playing dress up. So yeah, that is something I'm still on the hunt for. It's not something to me that, you know, I really want to have now. I've got my little crop trench, I guess you could call it. I'll pop it on the screen so you can see. But I got this from Mango maybe last year, I think, or the year before. It's all blended, the whole pandemic time blended into one. So I do use that quite a lot, and I think it's a really nice shade of camel. I don't like camels that are too saturated. I think they can look a little bit cheaper sometimes. So just get back colour right against your skin tone. There are some lovely trenches in navies or khakis that look equally lovely, so if those colours lend itself better to the clothes in your wardrobe, then definitely go for that. You don't have to get a camel coat. The other thing is a denim jacket. So if you saw my H&M Come Shop With Me, I tried one on in there. Again, I wouldn't say investment price, but I think it's definitely something I'm going to wear for years. I got a slightly oversized look because I think going forward that is probably something I'm going to love, and I'm always looking for coats where I can put knits underneath, and I will always consider that now going forwards. I think when I was younger I never really thought about things like that and how comfortable it was in the sleeve, but just make sure you've got enough space in your coat that if you did want to wear it in cooler months with a jumper, then you know you can fit that in. So the next investment item is something that probably hopefully won't cost you as much, and this is a t-shirt. I prefer to go for silk blends. I just love the way they feel. I love the drape, and they also are not too see-through, obviously depending on where you get them from. I think that's definitely something to look out for, how see-through they are, because you want to be able to wear them in summer with your skirts or under your strappy dresses or just with shorts, and then you also want to be able to use them as layering pieces in the winter. I just think t-shirts are so versatile. Stick to a shape that you love. I got mine, I mean I obviously, as you've heard, love the oversized look, but with these ones that I've spent more money on, I went for a little bit of a more fitted look, not totally fitted that they stick to my body, but slightly more slim so I can wear them with more things. So number 8 on my list is white trainers. So I think the reason I've chosen white instead of black is I just think white goes with a lot more, and it's probably something that you can wear throughout the year. I wouldn't necessarily tend to draw for black trainers in summer. So if you're going to be wearing these with trousers, skirts, dresses, then opt for something a little bit more slimline, like a Converse or the Veja Esplars, I think they're called, Esplar. Hope I said that right. Pop them on the screen so you can have a look. It's just sort of more minimal, a little less fuss. And then if you're looking for something a bit more chunky, I've got the Adidas Falcons. They're not quite white, they are cream, but I love them. They're super comfortable. Or you could go for the Nike Air Force Ones, but I definitely think a white trainer is something that you can team with so much in your wardrobe. So we're coming to the end of the list. Number 9 is sunglasses. So maybe a little bit of a weird one to put in, but as someone who, my eyes are actually quite sensitive to the light, so sometimes even when I'm driving around and it's cloudy but still bright, I have to put my sunglasses on, and I know I do get a few looks, but it's not because I'm trying to be stylish or anything. I actually do need them so I can see, because I'm always like that otherwise. So sunglasses, I for years wore Ray-Ban aviators, which totally did not suit my face shape, and I probably got one comment from someone telling me they didn't, but didn't believe them. And then now when I look back on pictures of myself in them, I cringe. I'm like, what was I thinking? So if you are going to go and have a look at sunglasses, maybe take someone with you whose opinion you trust. Equally, try some on, take pictures of yourself, and then, you know, really have a look at them, check what suits your face shape. There's loads of guides online about finding the right shape for your face shape, so definitely take some time to pick ones that are right for you. I tend to stick to Ray-Bans. They're just a brand I've always loved with sunglasses. I don't actually think I've ever bought any other branded sunglasses. I've also got a second pair that I just keep in the car for if I've forgotten my sunglasses in my handbag, but I'm digressing. Let me get back to the point. I do think you need to make sure that it's actually got good UV protection for your eyes, because at the end of the day that's the most important thing. I do think tortoiseshell tends to look quite premium, but equally I think a lovely classic pair of black framed sunglasses look super chic and stylish. So the final piece I wanted to talk about is hoodies. So this may not be one for everyone, but my style is fairly casual. So for me, a hoodie would definitely be an investment piece. I have loads of hoodies, and I've probably only really bought them from H&M, Zara, I've got some from like old Topshop ones that I've had for years that are still actually surprisingly looking really good. I think that if you look after them right and wash them well, they can still look newer for longer, as with a lot of clothing. The only thing I would say is to, you know, if you're wanting to invest in a, you know, a slightly plainer piece like a hoodie, then look for the details that are going to make it look premium. So things like, I really like drop shoulders, so when the seam comes down I think it looks more casual, but also that bit more laid back style. Then pay attention to the zips. Are they quality zips? Is the zip colour dyed to match nicely against the fabric of the hoodie itself? The drawstrings on the hoodie, how are they finished off? I think all of these little details really help to elevate such a simple piece. I also personally don't like it when hoodies have ribbing on the hem. I have got some that have ribbing, but it's very fine ribbing. I find the more wider ribbing looks a little bit more cheap, I guess. So if you want it to look a bit more refined, then do look for details like this. I do think a hoodie is something that I wear all the time, so it's definitely something that I would look to invest in and spend that bit more money to get a really nice quality fabric. If you're going to invest in pieces, maybe look for that kind of scuba material, almost like ones that you would find on exactly that scuba diving materials. They will last long, they'll wash well, and even if they do get pilling, you can use a debobbler to remove the pilling and it will look as good as new, or just get 100% cotton. So that brings us to the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I managed to help you think about things that you might want to invest in your wardrobe and therefore help you buy a little less in the long run. Remember, don't go out and rush out and buy loads of pieces. It's all about taking your time, really honing in and selecting pieces that you know you're going to love forever and ever. So that's it. I hope you liked this video. Please do like and subscribe. If you did, that'd be awesome. It'd be so nice to have you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.